Who knew it was us that they got to do that? It is all revealed. Well, as much as I've set the stream up, gents, control is to you. It's been that long since I've done this. I can't be trusted to orchestrate.
James, your triangle is malfunctioning. Could you try that again?
Yes, it's lost its hanging bit. Look.
Oh,
it doesn't work. You can't hold it.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's such a good job. He's a captain and not a chief engineer.
I've got to teach you to play the guitar, poker, chess, and now the triangle. What ho, Gary? How you doing, chap? Hey, Victoria, how are you? Hey, Meg, how are you? What ho, Adam?
Adam.
Hey, Michael, long time no see. How are you having fun in Vegas? Are we going to be seeing you in a couple of weeks?
Well, we have seen him sitting at Jonathan Frakes' table.
Yes.
Oh, look, Megan's going to destination.
Oh, excellent.
It always lifts my soul when we see Megan.
It's one of life's inevitably cheerful people.
Yes.
So what do we do on this show nowadays then, gents?
Well, mainly we apologise for why we've not been on. We talk about whether twiglets are crisps or not.
Has that been decided?
No.
Good.
Generally, the jury is thinking it's not.
We've actually got two things to talk about. We've got 2 episodes of Strange Worlds to talk about. Oh my, James, when you did that, it looked like there was a secret door behind there.
Who says there isn't?
We normally talk about Star Trek episodes. Hey, Stephen Fly, look forward to seeing you there, buddy. You'll find us in the bar.
Yes.
Oh no, are we allowed to disclose information?
I don't know.
Well, we can disclose.
I don't think it would be a big secret.
We'll be there.
We may be appearing, doing some bits and pieces.
We can disclose what's been advertised, can't we? So, James and I will be there for the whole weekend. We're bringing the Riker's Beard 3-piece suite set, shuttle pod, and bridge with us. So you'll find us there, sort of mooching around a bit. James will be doing some bridge tours, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Mm.
And
button, don't press this button.
Yes, that sort of thing. But in short, yes, to exactly that too. Oh, the lovely.
Dr. Wayne.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing you. Oh, hey, Mark. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you. It's lovely to see you all.
It's going to be great.
We're going to play a game called Sardines, where we see just how many Starfleet officers fit inside a shuttle pod.
Sign up now by giving us a thumbs up.
Place your bet now. If you think it fall apart, you bet A.
If you think serious injury followed by suing, B. Does she like Dr. Wayne or the lovely Emma? I think it was the lovely Emma she was referring to there. Now, so we've got not 1 but 2 episodes of Star Trek to talk about. We've got both, if I'm honest with you, mediocre episodes. However, I do like that they are. Hang on, I can't talk like Donald Trump when I'm holding wine. I do like. I like that both of the episodes really, really tried to do something different. Now, here's the important thing: if it doesn't work, don't do it again. Okay, don't do it again. It was not, I like that you try something new, but if both consenting adults didn't like it, then it shouldn't be done again. Don't do it again. That's enough of that. Thank you very much.
And to which episode were you referring then, Richard?
Both the musical one. Didn't Anthony Peck have a wonderful voice? But to both of them, I'm referring to. I like that they tried something to do a bit different. I genuinely salute that. But you've done it now. No need to try it again. I think the problem is
plausible technical explanation as to why they were singing.
Well, I think with both of the episodes, they both just felt a bit too long. Do you know what I mean? It just felt like it went on a bit too long, and that's when the novelty wore off quick for me. But I think they are
two comedy episodes with a dramatic war-based PTSD suffering episode in the middle.
Was that in the middle? Was it? I thought the Strange New
World X was the other side of the war-based episode.
Yeah, the war episode was last week.
Then a very heavy episode, then a musical. Wow, that's a change of gear.
Yeah, I'm completely discombobulated. So I've come out of Margate and I'm in. I don't know where my geography is just not my main talent. I'm at Longleat, in the
southwest.
It's in the southwest. I mean, I drove for so long.
In the south. It's fine.
Yes, but everyone speaks a bit funny here. But it's
hello, my lover.
Yes, I had a tour around Lord the Marquis de Bath's house. But I said, when all this lovely ceiling here is all great then. Like, do you mean this postmodern Italian architecture is pleasing on the eye? Is that what you meant by that? Okay.
You become a pirate at the end.
I was going to say.
I mean, I've had a marvelous. The centre is lovely here. The Centre Parks is lovely. I have to highly recommend anyone, if you come to go to Longleat, it's absolutely marvellous. We drove through a monkey enclosure and a monkey leapt on my windscreen and urinated on it and then ripped off part of my wiper blade. And this apparently is part of the fun. So
it's part of the course. Richard, you'll be pleased to know, got to that page in Master and Commander where Jack Aubrey's sitting on the hill and a monkey flings a turd.
No, not. Oh, that page. Yes, that's marvellous. The monkey just throws a shit in. That's great. What a marvellous book.
He's already having a bad day. Yeah.
Bad enough days it is. He's in Gibraltar, isn't he? Yeah, that's it.
Yes, he's awaiting court-martial for having lost the Sophie.
And the monkey just rocks up and just throws his shit at him for no reason. He's like, really? Like, I'm glad you weren't referring to that other page. Moving swiftly on. Yeah, sorry, I've got discombobulated. So I'm referring to. Well, let's talk about the PTSD episode. I mean, how does that compare to, like, I've forgotten the name of the episode, the one where Nog gets his leg blown off? How does it? Because that's an obvious comparison you've got to make.
Yeah.
The DS91 Drums of War, whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called now. Something about war, which I thought was superb. It had your man from Babylon 5 in it, Bill Mummy. He was the one. He was the Starfleet officer on the ground there that had been there for too long and was already suffering a bit. I mean, you can draw some direct comparisons between the two. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's a bad episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the musical one and the Lower Decks one. I enjoyed them all. But for the high standard of Strange New Worlds, I'm again pinging that kind of a bit mediocre-ish. How do you guys feel?
I don't know. I don't think Strange New Worlds has quite worked out what it wants to be.
No.
That's the thing, that you have serious episodes and then comedic episodes and then ridiculously comedic episodes. And you've got a few bubbling plots going away, like Pike's relationship with Captain Battelle. It hasn't found its groove yet, but we love it. We love everything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact, like Richard said before, it's trying so many different angles and so many different things. Sooner or later, it will find its feet. Like you say, it'll figure out what it is, and it'll keep going that way. But yeah, I like the fact that there's so many different things that they're exploring with it at the moment.
I mean, I'm quite. I've been unseat a little bit, because I really presumed that last season they were paving the way for a big season-long war arc against the Gorn. I thought that's what we were going to have, and that's kind of I felt that's what they left the cliffhanger on, and they've barely been mentioned.
I think I would suspect this final episode will be a setup for that in season 3.
Yeah, I hope so, because I mean, the episode at the end of season 1 with the Gorn scared the shit out of me. I thought it was brilliant, really good.
So the thing is, season 2 was it not filmed back to back with season 1, or it was filmed quite a while ago?
I'm not sure if it's back to back. I know they did Picard season 2 and 3 back to back, didn't they?
The Picard
absolutely right about that. Yeah.
But
anyway, they've sort of got all these sets in storage, and people, not to put too fine a point on it, people do change if you don't film them for 2 or 3 years at a time. So they will appear different between seasons 2 and 3.
I was looking back. I look back at some old episodes of Let's Talk Trek. You should see how young we all look. Yeah. And also, like, pre-lockdown, how thin we were.
Or how much booze we used to get through. Oh, hang on, we still do that.
Yeah, some things aren't meant to change, though, James.
That being said, if you're enjoying the show, James and I will be there from Thursday through to Monday. And if you'd like to support the show and our work, you will find us at the bar, and we will be accepting drinks. Are we signing? I think we should sign. We'll be signing.
Yeah, we'll happily sign stuff without charge, except
no charge.
No, for drinks. We'll sign.
Sorry, yeah.
Rich will be showing. He's got a particular magic trick that he performs. That's available.
Yep.
Wait till you see my magic. You've not lived till you see my convention magic trick.
A little something for the ladies there.
Little something for the ladies there. They're gonna love it. Not a lot. Not a lot.
You'll like this. Not a lot. Just like
it's been too long since I've done a magic trick.
So if we're reviewing all 3 episodes, then what was your thoughts on the crossover? Have you discussed that in a previous week, or
did we come on last week or not, Richard? I can't remember.
No, we didn't. So the crossover episode, we've been struggling because Dan's been popping on. He's not been watching any of them, so we've not been able to talk about any of the shows. But how it is. But the crossover episode, the thing is, I don't like Lower Decks. So I was already kind of teed up to not like that episode.
Right. But even though you were teed up not to like it, did you like it?
Not particularly. No. I mean, I quite liked to see the Lower Decks characters like in real life, I sadly didn't find them less annoying.
I thought the Lower Decks uniform looked really very cool in live action.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, it did look good.
It's funny how the black bar is getting lower and lower. It's almost halfway down the chest now.
I quite like the way Boimler was very much sort of like completely and utterly awestruck with being amongst the original crew, sort of thing.
I certainly like the way he
spoke.
A second-rate ship, isn't he? He's amongst the legends. You have the super competent crew and the sort of Looney Tune, janitor type characters they have on other ships.
It was marvelous the way he righted onto the saddle. And can I just bring up how brilliant it is that Pike has his own saddle? Because any serious rider has their own saddle. So
absolutely, mon capitan.
I mean, I can't even ride a horse, and I have a saddle. I've got a really good saddle. It's great. I mean, it's for a bicycle, but I've got a really good one. It's a memory foam and everything. I digress, but a friend of mine spent like £2,000 on this carbon fiber bicycle that you can lift up with a little finger. And I said to him, "You'll ride that twice in a year." He said, "I won't. I'll get into cycling." I said, "You won't." He said, "Well, if I don't ride it, you can have it." So a year later, I got this bicycle, and it's honestly, it's the most amazing. Literally, I can pick it up in a little thing, but the seat on it, it's like sitting on a Klingon's appendage. It was the most uncomfortable thing. So I bought this massive, literally, it's like an armchair. Like a what? It's like a massive.
What you said, sitting on a Klingon's
appendage.
Appendage,
so
right?
I've got this huge seat on this tiny little sports carbon fiber bike. Literally, it's a memory foam thing with a little backrest. I can lean back on. I think it's bloody marvelous. That's if you buy a posh bike, buy yourself a decent saddle. By that, not a racing saddle. Go for comfort. Why did I start talking about that?
Absolutely no idea.
And what did you think of the crossover, Carl?
I enjoyed it. I thought the storyline to it was a little weak. I thought it did kind of seem to be done just for the sake of doing it.
Was a bit written in crayon. I thought, especially the dialogue, which is generally the problem I have with Lower Decks. So
I like the fact that they did it. I just think it probably could have been done a little better than it was.
Who was that?
What was that?
I'll probably have to go now, but I'll catch up with you later if I can.
Oh,
okay, that sounded a little serious. So, well, let's continue. Distracting our guests from the injury that may have just occurred off screen at Centre Parks.
Let's repeat it, shall we, Carl? Why don't we go to a collectible corner?
Okay, let me scroll up this list and find the. There it is. Okay, yep. Couldn't help notice you perusing your shelves there, James.
I was looking for a musical instrument.
Yes, of course you were. Well, you see, dear viewer, this week James had a sneak preview of what would be coming up on Collectible Corner. I've received a very special gift this week to add to my collection, something I've been after for an awful long time. So long-standing viewers of the show that actually remember me being on it may remember me mentioning this particular item from time to time. That's the one. And here it is.
Oh, look at that.
I finally have to add to my collection Andrew Robinson's A Stitch in Time, Deep Space Nine book number 27. And not only do I finally have a copy of this from all the dates within it that I can see, it is a first edition print as well. And it is absolutely amazing condition.
That's not been read, has it?
No, it's such a lovely gift.
Show us the spine. And there's not a crease on that spine. It's not been opened.
Nope. And just to make sure that it stays in this sort of condition, I have this week has become available on Audible. Andrew Robinson reading this particular book. It's come out this week. I have my copy in my library ready to start listening to.
Oh, I've got 3 credits on Audible that I can use. I'm in the middle of, well, I say I'm in the middle of. I've started Sherlock Holmes as read by Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry. I did see that when I was downloading it.
So I'm only about 5 hours in. I've got a long way to go with that.
Yes.
I think I'll have to dip in and out. So
that does sound amazing, that Stephen Fry one. I'm very tempted by that.
Well, it's only 1 credit, so...
Yes. And I still have 3 credits even after that. So, but if you're not on Audible and you want to buy it, if you're not membership on there, I think it's $7.99, which again I would consider an absolute bargain.
What's the running time on the Audible version? Do you know?
I think it was just over 12 hours.
12 hours?
Mm.
It's only 1 novel, blimey.
Yep. Let me just double check. I've got it. Like I say, I have it right here. So here we are.
Add to basket.
So here we are. Stitch in Time, Andrew J. Robinson on Audible. And Why is it only showing the? There we go. 12 hours 28 minutes.
Wow, that's value for money.
That is a running time and a half, isn't it?
Well,
when you
yeah.
want to compare that to other Trek stuff that I've had on Audible previously, for example, the book by our good friend James Swallow, The Dark Veil, that particular book is, let's see, which again, my Audible's being strange and doesn't want to load anything up for some reason. Other comparable Trek books are about 10 to 12 hours, so yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that sounds about right. Picard Last Best Hope, that one was just under 12 hours. So, yes, sounds about right.
What was I listening to? Let me just have a quick look. I've had...
But yeah, do let us know in the comments. What have you, any of you guys all read Andrew's book, or have you got it on Audible, sat there ready and waiting for your journey to Destination Trek in a couple of weeks? It's a shame that
Cray, that's what I was listening to. Yeah, they're about 12 hours. So you're absolutely right, Carl. Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
It'd be nice if Mr. Robinson was announced as a guest. Imagine being able to get my first edition signed by the author. That would be lovely.
And you'd have to say to him, though, be careful not to crease the spine, Andrew.
Yes, I'd probably have to just as gently as I opened it to check dates in the front of the book, just like.
Now you can encase it in carbonite.
Yes, absolutely. I intend to fully do so.
Excellent. So, what's the approximate market value of a mint condition copy of A Stitch in Time?
Well, it's been a while since I had a scour for it. I do every couple of months. Well, I used to anyway. Every couple of months, I would have a scour across eBay, etc., for that book. And last time I checked, I wasn't actually lucky enough to find any first copies, and certainly none in that good a condition.
Yeah.
The majority of them were going for between, let's see, I think it was about
3 figures, weren't they?
Yes, yeah, it certainly was. The last one I saw, I believe, was 120,000 pence, if I've done my maths of zeros correctly there. And like I say, that wasn't a first edition, and it was a little bit, you could tell it had been read. Yeah, just check my notes there.
£1,200, is that right?
No.
120 pounds.
Yeah.
12,000.
12,000 pence. Yeah, 12,000 pence, dear viewer. Don't get too excited if you have that particular one. Do not take my word for it. But yeah, that was the last one I saw around that sort of price. So if you happen to have one that you've been lucky enough to be signed by Andrew, then wow.
Gold dust, aren't they?
Absolutely. James, you should get Sir Richard to read it on the journey to Birmingham.
So let's talk about Destination. So as is now common knowledge, the Riker's Beard will be there with our bridge.
Yep.
And although they haven't formally announced it yet, we are expecting to bring the shuttle as well.
Nice.
We'll be travelling up on Thursday morning. We've hired our van from Wednesday evening, and of course it is from Enterprise.
Yes. If I'd have known that conversation was coming, I would have grabbed the clip. The Enterprise.
Nuclear vessels. So we're expecting to arrive at the Hilton lunchtime-y on Thursday. We hope to get the bridge built and everything offloaded and done by sort of tea time, or as I like to call it, gin o'clock.
Yes. What a fantastic hour that is.
And we've been asked if we can do a few chats and bits and pieces during the weekend. I'll be doing tours of the bridge. I don't know whether they're going to be asking people to pay any money to take photographs on it. That's outside of any control I've got. So we'll see what they're doing about that. But I'm more than happy to show people around it.
And they are fantastic replicas.
So yeah, they're very good for photos, and I've been out repainting the shuttlecraft this afternoon because, bless her, she's been out in my garden since our last sortie at the end of May, and she's enjoyed 2 months worth of British summer. so has required a complete repaint. I mean, she's got mouldy every
Oh, dear.
time. God, I really need to get a hanger somewhere.
Yep. I'm sure whenever I've visited you, we've driven past several places and you've kind of been like, ooh, that'll do nicely.
Yeah, it's just the cost of hiring anywhere is so steep. A lock-up garage is like 300 quid a month. It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
true.
I mean, if I do the
So,
mathematics, I could just rebuild it from scratch cheaper than hiring somewhere to store it.
yes, yeah, but are you taking into account your time there, James?
Well, no, and obviously the build of the shuttle, if anyone's interested, commenced in 2014, and she was finally ready to actually go out in 2020. That's how long it took to build the damn thing.
Mm. It is a thing of beauty, though, in all fairness.
You've never actually seen it in person, have you, Carl?
Let me
I don't think you
see.
have,
Let me
because I don't
see.
think you came to the SF ball in
No,
2020
I've
when
seen it
we
in
first met.
pieces. I have seen it in pieces.
You've never seen
Not,
her
not.
assembled.
No, unfortunately not. No.
Yeah, so she's only been out to 3 other events, 2 SF balls and one thing locally in Birchington. So this is our longest ever journey with the shuttle. Hoping it will get there in one piece.
I would imagine so.
Hmm. Yeah, and at some point I will find time to install the cockpit, and there's the helm. Yeah. There we go. We have the
Exciting
leather
stuff.
seats as well. Richard and I have to spend some time disarming all the airbags in those before we install it into the shuttle in case we have any accidental ejections.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you don't really need airbags in space. I wouldn't have thought. The inertial dampness should do the job for you.
the airbag is the Mark II inertial dampener,
Yeah,
or
it's the
Mark
backup
I
system.
inertial dampener, I suppose.
Yeah.
When are you
So,
arriving, Carl? What's your plan?
well, we're hopefully arriving probably within sort of like a 2 to 3 hour time slot of yourselves. Probably just slightly later in the afternoon.
Oh, what, just after we've done all the work?
No, probably about halfway through you doing the work so that we can walk in and go, oh, you guys are on top of everything. We'll go and get the pints. Because you'll be at that stage where if we interrupt you, it'll be a disaster. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Right, are
we
you travelling
should
with
be
Mr.
arriving
Baker?
hopefully mid-afternoon.
Yeah. Is he bringing the dog?
No, I don't think so. Because as much as the hotel is a dog-friendly hotel, the actual convention halls aren't.
Oh,
Not that I'm
we can
aware
always
of,
hide
obviously.
Riker in the shuttle.
We could. That's not a bad shout. I mean, if we could just sort of like beam him in there, no one would ever know.
Except when we're playing sardines.
Yes, yeah. And then we have to decide, because he has more than 2 legs, does he count as 2 people? Or because he's only smaller, does he count as a half? It's going to be a very, very tricky equation. That sounds like Gary volunteering.
Gary is very much all over helping us out. Gary, bless
Absolutely.
you, came over to my house the other day to help me move part of the shuttle out of my garden onto the drive, just to give us less of a headache next week when we have to load everything into this van.
Mm.
But we've got a Luton van with a tail lift, which,
Ooh.
gosh, that made our lives so much easier last time. We said, why don't we always do this?
It's worth it. So worth it. So were there any guest announcements that have excited you so far then for Destination?
Well, I've heard the crew of the Rikers Beard are going to be doing some stuff, but apart from that, not particularly. I gather there's been one cancellation, but I didn't actually know who he was, to be fair. I think he'd been in Enterprise. Jeff
Right.
Ricketts is the name off the top of my head.
No, it doesn't ring any bells.
There's a chap from Discovery, and obviously we don't really talk about Discovery.
Yeah. So what's it? The guy with the cat.
Yes, Book.
That's the one. Yeah, Book. David Ayala.
Yes,
That's the one. Cleveland Book.
Nurse Chapel, yes, she's been announced. Yes,
Yep,
so they've
Jess
got
Bush.
two main cast from Strange New Worlds. Only
Yeah, they've
problem
also got
being they can't discuss Strange New Worlds.
they've got Christina Chong as well, haven't they? Laan.
La Noonien Singh, yeah.
Yes.
And at some point, we'll have an explanation as to why there is a Noonien Singh on the Enterprise.
Mm.
Yet Kirk doesn't know anything about Noonien Singh when he encounters him in spacesuit.
Yeah, because up until this week's episode, they could have still got away with that.
Yes, because that was a time travel alternate timeline episode, wasn't it?
Both. So the one at the end of last season, that was obviously the alternate version of Balance of Terror. So he'd have come across her in that one, I think. But again, that was an alternate reality. And then also the one earlier this season where it was an alternate reality. So up until this week, they still got away with that.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yes. Isn't it great? As Richard says, never let canon get in the way of a good story.
Now, let's talk about Doctor Who just for a minute, because I went wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. That's coming back.
Okay, well, I don't really know anything about that, but yeah, by all means.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to say that I love Doctor Who, except for the whole Jodie Whittaker era, just because it's so incredibly British. And when they talk about timey wimey, wibbly wobbly, it's so great. But the thing I like the most about Doctor Who, Stephen Moffat, the showrunner, said it a few years back. He said, look, they didn't give him superpowers, they didn't give him the ability to fly or anything like that. They gave him an extra heart. And that's how British Doctor Who is. And they didn't give him a ship bristling with weapons. It has a sign on the door that says, call for assistance. As in, you need help? Here's your hero. Isn't that ultimately British? If only more stuff could be more British.
Absolutely.
Just imagine what Starfleet would be like if it was British. It'd be great.
Trying to see. Right, let's have some comments rolling in here, people. What would you call a Star Trek spin-off that goes down that route?
Oh. Star Trek Empire Broadsword.
Probably wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not sure that would make it to screen, in all fairness. That's an interesting one. I'm looking forward to some of the comments.
HMS Queen Victoria.
Star Trek Queen Victorian. Star Trek Monarchy.
Star Trek Spitfire.
Oh, I like that.
Fans of the show may know I have two children, and their names are Spitfire and Marmaduke.
That's something I'm excited about for DT, as it is now, Destination Trek. Is that obviously I also have some offspring, and one of those offspring is, as again, long-running watchers of the show that remember me will recall that my latest offspring was named after a Star Trek character, and that is Esri.
Yes, and she's going to be there.
Yes, Nicole DeBoer is to be there. So I was thinking about taking Esri and getting her signed, but I believe there are legal issues with portable tattooing machines and children of that age, and so yeah,
after the show, I'll sort you out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that's out the window. So I will come up with a plan B, but yeah, my plan is to hopefully get something personalised for Esri from Esri.
Oh, I know what you could do. You could get one of those personalised action figures made of Esri, and then you could get Nicole DeBoer to sign that. When you go tight on time, you need someone with a 3D printer. Now, Adam Dolphin, he's an absolute whiz when it comes to 3D printing. Perhaps he can do you he can do you an action figure of your daughter that you can get signed. You can create the blister pack and everything.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too
just
detailed.
Create the blister pack. Get someone to do the graphics for that. Do the figure later.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too detailed, Adam. Just recognisable, and away we go. Excellent. Loving it.
I saw,
Let's see if we can all come
direct,
together so that I can present my daughter with this really embarrassing gift on her 18th birthday, shall we?
So at the point that she's 18, let's think, how old will DS9 be at that point?
Crikey. So she was born last year. So when she's 18, that'll make it
So
2000
2040.
and 2040, yeah. And
DS9
DS9 came out in what?
1999?
Nicole DeBoer was in it in 99, yeah.
Yeah, she was in the final season, so that was 99.
Yeah, so it'll be 41 years old at that point, the character.
So I saw a frightening thing the other day. People saying we are now as far on from Voyager as Voyager was on from TNG.
Yes.
Yeah, how does that
Yes,
make
I
you
saw
feel?
that one. Were there any Star Trek characters who are in their canon history
Malcolm
British?
Reed.
Yes.
Malcolm Reed
Very
very
much
specifically
so.
refers to his lineage being from the Royal Navy.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of which, is it time for Massive Choppers?
Yes. Is there an intro for that? I
Yeah,
would
there
imagine
is.
so.
Yeah, see if
Okay,
we
give
can
me a
find
moment. There's an awful lot of videos in here that I've not seen, obviously. Yeah, maybe there is.
Have you found it?
I'm struggling. Found it. Here we go.
Yeah, so this week
this
on
is
Massive...
a new feature.
Yeah, this is what you get for missing staff meetings, Carl. This week on Massive Choppers, I'd like to speak about the Westland Wessex, and I think you've got a clip.
I certainly do. I shall pop it up for you.
Roll VT.
But also, Andy, it reflects the involvement of the Royal Navy years ago today. Wessex was lost during the exercise attack on HMS Morgan. That was an anti-submarine version, the HAS-3. Morgan came under attack, turned stern onto the missile. Missile came over the top of the deck, hit the hull. Yeah, so it's all very clear to read like that, and try and find what was very
Now, did you see the way that was spinning on its axis there at the end?
Yes.
So the Westland Wessex, first introduced 1961, first ever actually flew in June of 1958. A couple of interesting points. British built, obviously, as flown by the Royal Navy, and more famously, perhaps, by the Royal Air Force. Power development of the Sikorsky H-34, developed and produced under license by Westland Aircraft. Later Westland helicopters, they replaced the piston-powered power plant with a turboshaft engine. Now, what I love about this massive chopper is that the ones I was familiar with growing up were painted bright yellow, and they were operated by the Royal Air Force, and they flew out of RAF Manston, which is just down the road from me. And they were search and rescue helicopters used for rescues out at sea before the more versatile Sea King was introduced. Now, I've always loved the Westland, and I got to fly in one. And a chap who was a pilot of one landed it at my school where I was in the cadets and took us for a fly. This is in the days before health and safety, where they had the side door of the helicopter wide open so we could lean out and look at our houses with the winchman hanging onto us to make sure we didn't fall out. But a lovely, lovely chopper. One of my personal favourites. So if you've got a chopper you'd like us to review on James and Richard's Massive Choppers, do let us know. We're always keen to hear about your chopper views. None of these have actually appeared in Star Trek, though.
I was going to say, I was just wondering what the connection was there.
There was a helicopter in the voyage home.
Yes, you're right. There was. Yeah,
There you go.
a 607.
Oh, it was a Huey, wasn't it? It was used
Yeah,
by Sulu to lift the transparent perspex into
yeah.
the Klingon bird of prey.
He flew something similar in his academy days.
Sulu, why were you flying a 300-year-old helicopter at Starfleet Academy? What was the point of
Yes,
that?
does beg the question, doesn't it? So what other features do we do? We've got Wish.
Oh, do you want to do Wish?
Yeah, why not? Hang on, let me find
All right,
the intro to that. That must be near the top of the list because that's an original. Hang on. See, here we go. Yep. Here we go.
Now this week's Wish clip is something that I spotted on TikTok, which is a bit like YouTube, but sort of it's the Twitter equivalent of YouTube, as I understand it. You have to have a very short film, although Twitter is no longer called Twitter, it's called X or something. Is that right?
Yeah, X.
Because I've got a Twitter app on my phone, and the little birdie is gone, and now there's a big
Yeah,
X.
it's gone, hasn't it? It's flown off. It's nowhere near as enticing just having the X there.
I do one
I
tweet
don't-
a year, and it's literally Ed Balls on the 28th of April.
Yeah, it's daft. I used to wake up and have little birdies on my screen. Now I've got what look like waking up to warning signs every morning. It really doesn't set me up for the day.
Yeah, well, anyway, enough about Twitter. Let's roll VT and have a look at this week's clip.
The target has been destroyed, Captain.
The remaining debris is of no threat to the planet, sir.
Well done, everyone. Ensign, put us back on course for the Messalina system. Warp 4 as soon as we're clear of the debris field.
Aye, sir.
So subtle, but brilliant.
I really enjoyed that, didn't you?
Well, if you haven't seen them, do you remember they first started coming about during the first lockdown? I think it was.
These are intakes, aren't they? Where people
Yes,
are
they're the Star Trek
outtakes to put them
intakes.
back in.
Yeah, so the guy's got the Blu-ray box set of TNG with all the outtakes on it, and just edited them back into the original scene as if it were what was aired. And if you want to look it up, there are some absolute corkers on there. If you go onto YouTube and look up Ryan's edits, the absolute
Star Trek intakes is the other search term.
And he's got like nearly 200 of the things on there now. It's ridiculous. I always remember one of the first ones that he did was the Captain Picard saying about ships in bottles. And Worf phrased it very, very wrong. Go and look that one up.
Yes,
that
I
one's
know.
an interesting one. Oh dear. Well, apparently, you've stirred something here, James, within our audience.
Oh,
Vicky...
now we must say, for some point this week, a very happy birthday to Victoria.
Yes.
Who is celebrating a birthday, presumably 21 again, and we'll no doubt get to celebrate it with her next week.
Yes, we shall certainly have a few celebratory beverages. Alan, same to you. Now,
the Chinook obviously is the Klingon helicopter, as it has two rotors.
Yes.
Main rotors, I should say.
Oh dear. So I've got a little clip here that I downloaded purely because of. No, it's not a Wish clip. It's jumping us back slightly, so back to where we were at the start of this evening's show with regards to the latest Strange New Worlds episode. I feel it was potentially the fear that everyone had when they heard that they were going to do a musicals episode. So obviously there's been a few clips over the years in Trek episodes where people have been singing. You've got Data singing Blue Skies. There's a famous one. got to admit, this was the worry for me. This particular.
Tuvok, I understand. You are a Vulcan man. You have just gone without for 7 years about. Paris, please find a way to load a hypospray. I will give you the sign. Just aim for his behind. Hormones are raging.
Yeah, I can't let it finish just because, like I say, that's what was worrying me about that one. Now, this links in nicely because I believe there's potentially a karaoke at Destination Trek.
Is there?
I believe that it's on the cards, and again, I was wondering what our audience that are attending might be planning on singing. Because let's face it, everybody has a karaoke song, whether they know it or not. But what's your particular tipple on that one, James?
Right, let's see if I can line it up here.
See, I was trying to segue into it there.
Okay, here we go. I am the very model of a modern Starfleet admiral. I'm singing you this song of mine, a transgalactic madrigal. I know the founding planet, and I quote the flight's historical, from Broken Bow to Voyager in stories allegorical. I'm very well acquainted too with Vulcans, they're so logical. I understand their functions like Ponfar, that's biological. About Betazoid women, I'm teeming with a lot of news, with many cheerful facts about Diana Troy. She's Riker's muse. How was that?
Impressive. Absolutely impressive. Oh,
who doesn't enjoy a bit of Gilbert and Sullivan?
Absolutely. Well, Vicky's getting a good response here. Sounds like she won't be having to purchase many drinks for the weekend, with it being her birthday. We've got a lot of people shouting happy birthday out to Vicky for this week. Unfortunately, Vicky, that's not within your control, I'm afraid. So, yeah. Never mind, eh?
Oh, who's this?
We appear to have an intruder.
Hello.
It sounds very much like a Dalek.
I am Dalek Karaoke. You will sing.
There you go, Vicky. You have no way out of it now. I mean, personally, the other thing I'm looking forward to is from the Trekkie girls when Carol gets up again and sings. I mean, we've all seen it before.
Oh, girl, it's a cold world when you keep it all to yourself.
See, Carol's a natural at karaoke, as we can see.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So, what does Dalek Karaoke have to say?
Not a lot, apparently.
Nothing.
Yes, there is. Gary, my signal is a little bit, so you might. Me.
Come in, Moscow. Come in. I said, come in, Moscow. Come in.
Oh no, gone. Oh dear. Well and truly gone.
Come in.
I don't think we'll get him back.
I like walkie-talkies that we can carry around at destination. It'll make us look important, won't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely no idea, Darth. Sorry.
Darth Watson.
Yes. What's happening? No idea.
Oh no. Mrs. D says it's raining. That means I've got to go and cover up the shuttlecraft.
Oh dear. That is not good.
Let me just check out the window how bad it is.
We're near our hour, so.
Hang on. Let's see. Not too bad. I'll deal with it in a minute.
She's come through worse storms than this.
Without it raining when I'm trying to paint things. One day. It's all I ask.
That's a big ask, James. A big ask. Especially this year.
Screw you, summer.
Oh, but yeah,
That scene in The Final Frontier where Scotty goes, "I just fixed that."
yes. Oh yes, I have that frustration many times.
BBC Weather said 0% chance of rain this evening until like 3 o'clock tomorrow. I thought, brilliant! I've got a chance to fix this.
You actually believe the weatherman? I've often thought about changing.
I think that's fairly safe. But when it says like 5% chance of rain, I go, well, that's 100% chance of rain, then, isn't it?
I've got to be I've often had the view of potentially changing professions to being a meteorologist, because it seems to be the only profession where you get paid that much money to be consistently wrong at what you do.
Or you could be an estate agent and never tell the truth.
Ooh, there's a thought. Well, you've got to admit, they are incentivized not to tell the truth because they get commission on house deals. So, it's reasonably, it's sort of like buyer beware sort of situation, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh dear.
Yes. Always remember the agent acts for the seller. That's the key point.
Well, I'm thinking that we should probably call it an evening now.
Well, we better do. I better go and put some tarpaulins up.
Sounds like you've got a fun half hour ahead of you.
Oh.
So, well, let's see. We'll be on next week, and then the week after that, we'll be at the event.
Yeah, so we'll be doing Let's Talk Trek live from a bar, presumably. And both people who watch us will probably be there anyway, so we might as well not bother to stream it.
Well, we'll stream it, and then, it'll make them feel special, and we'll have live audience participation that way. Who wouldn't want to be broadcast to the world with us?
Yeah, so to both of our viewers.
Absolutely. But until next week, dear viewer, we shall sign off.
Well, Carl, it's been an absolute pleasure hosting this evening with your good self. I think it's the first time you and I alone have been on, although we have briefly had both Richard and Dan dial in, so it was almost a full enterprise, but never at the same time.
Absolutely. A staggered full enterprise. Staggering is something that no doubt we'll all be doing quite a bit at Destination. So,
yeah. Darth, yes, we do stream every Sunday. Well, we try to.
We certainly try. We do have to miss the odd one or two, but we do try. So, yes, tune in same time next week, because definitely we will be on again next week and the week after. So, next couple of weeks, you're fairly safe.
Channel.
Yeah. Same time, same platforms. Till then.
Toodle pip.